What happens. Let's just go live. See what happens. This won't cause a problem. And I hope you all can hear me when I say you all. When I say you all. When I say you all. I don't know how many people we have. We will have. I like to fantasize it'll be thousands of people. It's going to be my world's best live performance in history. Hello, Pink CCF. It's going to be my most explosive, most revealing, most fascinating, keep you on the edge of your seat. Just happy to be alive. It's going to be that good of a live. So thank you for joining, Carissa. If you guys here have any audio problems, let me know. I'm sitting outside today on my patio on kind of a windy day. Hello, Tracy from Indiana. How are you? And again, if you have any sound troubles, if you're hearing wind rush through the speakers, let me know. If there's any issues, let me know. Other than if you don't like my content, just change the channel. It'll work out real well. Who else we got? Danny, Doug, Carissa, Pink, Tracy, Cher, not with a C, with an S, Greg Parrott, and other people. But I'm just going to start. What time is it? Oh, it's 12:15. So I'm going to go good afternoon to you. My name is Ken Tracy, and this is Coffee with Ken. It is, what day is it? It's March 3rd. It's March 3rd, and I'm sitting outside on a beautiful day in early March. We've been a little spoiled this year. We didn't get much of a winter. I'm coming at you from Naperville, Illinois, which is a town of about 150,000 people, about, 35 miles west of Chicago or so. And again, we've had been spoiled this year, although I'm a guy that likes snow and likes cold weather. Other than about a 2-week patch of it, it's been a really, really mild, moderate winter. I'll show you where I'm at, what I'm doing. Again, you're seeing the grass turning green behind me. Hello, Torin. Grass turning green, and again, it's only March 3rd. We still easily could get a good snowfall or two or several, but it sure doesn't feel like it today. It just feels amazingly spring-like. Still 3 weeks before the official start of spring. And again, like I should be golfing, but I'm not golfing. I'm sitting here going live with you on this beautiful Sunday afternoon. So thanks anybody for joining. Again, my name's Ken Tracy, and this is Coffee with Ken. This is a little show I've been doing for about 5 years. A show where I kind of just talk about what's on my mind and the thoughts going through my head. I'm a 55-year-old guy that grew up in the western suburbs of Chicago, struggled with a lot of anxiety and worries and fears, and had a lot of very highs and very low lows, high highs and low lows. And for some reason, 5 years ago, started talking live on social media, just kind of getting stuff off my chest. And here I am 5 years later, doing it on a different platform. I'm on TikTok today. My audience is tiny. I think something's broken. Wonder if I tap on the phone enough, it'll unbreak. I used to go live at 8 o'clock every morning. And, I'd get a nice consistent audience, about 50 people watching. And occasionally it'd spike up to a couple hundred if something was neat. But now, for some reason, over the last couple months, TikTok's kind of had me on the back burner, if you will. I don't know, maybe it's because my content sucks. I think things happen for a reason. And I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be, even though I don't understand it. But anyway, again, this is Coffee with Ken, a show I've been doing a while. It's a show about me talking. Wait a minute, hold on. Been out here for a little while, didn't want any bugs swimming around in the bottom of my coffee. You know what I mean? But anyway, for those that have been watching a while, you know this isn't just a show about me talking, because that would be very, very, very boring. For those that have been watching a while, you know it's also a show about me sharing my love of coffee. So even on this balmy day, the sunny day in early March, I am excited to take my first sip of this cup of coffee. And my hope is that wherever you are, whatever you're doing, that you got a hot cup of coffee in front of you as well. Cheers to us. Tell you, it's nice. It's nice. My family went through a couple pots this morning. I live with a whole bunch of kids and my wife and my dog and 2 cats, and we like to drink a lot of coffee, as one would guess, with the name of Coffee with Ken. And but anyway, went through about 2 pots this morning. Not about, I think exactly 2 pots this morning. And had the coffee on the back burner for the last couple hours. Hadn't had any. Felt I'd had enough. Hello, Turkey Spur Leather from Oklahoma. Felt I'd had enough. And kind of played with my kids, fed them breakfast. I got 2 little babies. I got 2 older girls from my first marriage. And I got 3 stepkids as well, for anybody new joining. My babies are 1.5 years and 3. Played with them, fed them. Entertained them as best I could, watched some Sesame Street because I love that, and laid them down for their nap about, about 50 minutes ago. And that is always a high point in my day, big burden off the chest, because as a stay-at-home dad 4 days a week, being with 5 kids in a house is more challenging than I knew. And dealing with 2 babies from 6 o'clock in the morning till, I don't know, I put them down at night, has been more challenging than I expected, to be honest with you. So laying them down, and I love them to death. I love them to death. I'm good watching Sesame Street. I'm good changing diapers. But there's a lot of time spent in the home when you got 2 little ones, especially during the winter months, even going out, you can't even go out for a walk hardly. And it's been challenging and taxing for me emotionally and mentally, and leaves me kind of spent at the end of the night. And it always feels so good when it comes nap time or bedtime, and I get their bottles set up and I get them in their beds and get the sound machines going and tuck them both in and tell them I love them and sneak out the door as quietly as I can. And then I just keep my fingers crossed that my 3 stepkids keep it quiet in the house as well. And the babies can get a good rest and get some sleep and feel good when they wake up and be ready to go at it again in a couple hours. So here I am. Instead of, I'll tell you what, honestly, I woke up early today, and my first thought on this Sunday afternoon when I laid them down was taking a nap. And I edited a video, and I was feeling kind of upset and feeling kind of concerned and stressed and anxious, and what am I going to do? And edited a video that I haven't posted yet, and it was talking about turning my mood around and how my number one way to elevate my mood or lift my spirits is by cleaning. And I looked at my house. There were certainly spots in the house that need cleaning. But for some reason, even despite saying it in the video myself, I didn't get captured by my motivation, by my inspirational words, and start cleaning. And I laid there, and my mind kept going, and I was listening to my favorite meditative, kind of positive, hypnotic guy here on TikTok, and I was liking his words, but I was having a hard time embracing them and having them drip into my soul and into my heart, if you will. And because of that, I laid there for a while. I decided to get up, get going, and get to it. And right now, for me, this is getting to it. I didn't feel like cleaning. I'll probably do some cleaning when I hang up with you guys. But as a guy that is a aspiring professional content creator, and I'll say it like that, because clearly I'm a content creator. I create content. That's what I do. But I often will refer to myself as an aspiring content creator, because I think you probably got to make a certain amount of money for me to really consider yourself a content creator. And because of that, and although I make just a slow trickle of money right now, certainly not enough to feed a family, much not even myself. could probably sustain buy the large bag of dog food a month. So we could take care of my dog Holly. But I have bigger dreams and bigger visions. And honestly, my dreams aren't about money or fancy cars or big houses. You know, where we live is nice. The cars I've always driven have been nice, and you know, I'm pleased with that. But I would like to make a difference. And if I'm making a difference to one person that's listening, that understands where I'm coming from, whether it be about anxiety or stay-at-home dad or stay-at-home mom or stress with the kids or financial troubles or relationship troubles, I think I speak fairly frankly, and I have an ability to tell a story that seems to connect. And just want to thank you guys for joining on this Sunday afternoon. I'm outside with my bald head as the sun is beating down. I'm 55. I probably should have worried about the sun's rays 40 years ago. But as they say, the best time to plant a tree is 40 years ago. The second best time to plant a tree is today. So I think that applies. So maybe I should be wearing a hat or some suntan lotion. But it's early March. I don't think the sun can get you too bad at this point. But hi, Brian. How are you? Hello, Beastie. Thank you for joining. Rick's having his first cup. Rick, I don't even know if I believe you in your cup counting anymore. You're usually on your second. I just brewed our third pot. Again, we drink. I was up at 5 in the morning or 4:50. Started the pot right away. Walked my dog, Holly. Did my first sip video. My kids were kind of fussing and crying at 5:30, so I went up and grabbed them. I've got both babies. They probably are close to 30 pounds, I'll guess. And it seems every time I pick them up, either I'm getting weaker or I'm getting older or they're getting heavier or a combination of both. Because it's getting harder and harder to lift them both out of their two separate cribs and then walk down the stairs in the dark. And I always look closely, make sure I don't miss that first step. That would be very unfortunate. And am as careful as I can be carrying two growing babies down from the second floor down to where it's childproofed and safe on the first floor. Hello, Jenny Riley. Somebody's asking what my wife does. I won't say exactly what she does. She has her own social media channel. If she ever wants to share what she does, I'll let you know. But she took a job back in November, early November. And at the time I was going, hey, you know, I didn't want her working if we could help it. And I said, if I was making $250,000 a year, we had no financial worries doing content creation, would you want to take this job? And she said, yeah. And I think at the time it was a dream job to her. She was super excited. She's still excited, but obviously going in on Sundays when it's sunny outside is, I don't know, I would imagine it's fairly tough. You know, leaving your kids and going outside when the sun is shining on a Sunday afternoon. And I know our kids miss her and I miss her, and we wish she could be home today. So. But anyway, I wonder how much I have for you today. Jenny Riley, you're a newish person, I think, or perhaps you've been around for a while, but either way, I appreciate you joining. I so appreciate the questions. Again, I used to go live every morning at 8. We'd get a nice audience of regulars that'd all know each other and chat it up and talk and communicate. And sometimes they'd leave me out of the conversation, and I'd see conversations streaming between viewers. And while that's nice and it's good to have a nice audience, I felt a little bit like a third wheel. And yeah, no, I'm just kind of kidding. But hello, Claudia. Hello, Philip. Thank you so much for joining. I so appreciate you. I'm getting warm. I'd probably take off this sweatshirt, but the shirt I'm wearing underneath is some running shirt when my daughter, who's a senior at a local high school, was doing senior day for her cross-country team. And they printed out these shirts, and they have a lot of white printing. But I always edit these videos and clip them into shorts and reels and TikToks and post them all over social media. And I'll tell you, if you print words on the video and they're reading across this sort of lettering, it's hard to read the letters or the words that I'm putting on the video. So because of that and what I will suffer for my audience, I'm sitting out here a little warmer than I'd like to be in this fine Illinois sweatshirt, just in case anyone forgets where I'm from. This I doesn't stand for Idaho. It doesn't stand for Iowa or Indiana. Is there any other I states? Is there any other I states? Besides, of course, Illinois. I'm not sure. Hey, Jack joined. Jack, you always put a smile on my face. Jack's a guy that has been following my show for, I don't know, 3 or 4 years. He's probably seen it transition and my life transition in so many different ways. It's amazing. And here I am, and here Idaho. Didn't I say Idaho? I think I said Idaho. I definitely said Iowa, and I said Indiana. I said Idaho, and Iowa, and Indiana. Hello, Ryan Marks. Hello, Jack Keeler. No, not you, Jack. No offense. Jack, I don't even know Jack's last name. I don't even think I know Jack. Oh, I do know Jack's last name. I do know Jack's last name. Hi from New Jersey. Ryan Marks, how's the weather in New Jersey today? New Jersey's a surprisingly nice state. And I mean, I only drove through it a couple times. But I think what I'd always pictured was, it's not going to sound very nice if I say it. But it's it's called the Garden State. And just driving through it from Philadelphia to Atlantic City and back one October day, I thought it was quite pretty. And I was surprised. Jack Keeler's out in Boston. Well, we've got a big representation of the East Coast today. It's a nice state, but very expensive. Yeah, people are saying that everywhere. You know, I live in Illinois. Property taxes here are crazy. I don't know how much I want to say. I don't know. I was a realtor for 17 years. So I'm going to kind of not talk about my house, but the average home in this neighborhood is probably $500,000 to $525,000. And I bet the average property taxes in the neighborhood is probably like $11,000 or so, or $12,000. And, you know, what's tough about that, even if you had your home paid off, you know, you'd still be paying $1,000 a month just in property taxes, not to mention anytime you needed to fix it or you needed, I don't know, anything done. And it just seems life's gotten so expensive. You know, same here in New Jersey. It's sad. Shaking my head. Jack Keeler says, I'm with my girlfriend and she's from Michigan. Well, Jack Keeler, tell your girlfriend hello. Thanks so much for watching. I so appreciate when you bring new viewers to my show. I used to, when I first started, when I decided I wanted to go, hey, in Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's expensive as well, huh? Kind of crazy. Seems impossible for young people to purchase home. Jack Keeler, it seems impossible. Yeah. He said, Jack Keeler says it seems impossible to purchase a home for young people. I'll tell you what, I'm not young by any stretch. I'm 55, but I feel like I'm young. I was young the other day. And I was a stockbroker for 10 years. I was a realtor for 17, and I did a few other jobs in the meantime. But I'm trying to reinvent myself and, I don't know, do something new. I was never pleased being a realtor. I tried my hardest. I probably tried too hard. I stuck at it for 17 years. I had moderate. I mean, I was certainly above average. I figured I'm social. I'm tall. I smile a lot. I'm outgoing. I like drinking alcohol at the time, which I stopped 2.5 years ago, right before I left real estate. And the reason I bring that up is I found being a realtor was a very social business. There wasn't a party I wanted to miss because everywhere you'd go, people would ask you real estate questions, and everywhere you go, there'd be people, and people lived in homes. And I found over my career, that it was tough. And I wanted to be able to put the job down and not always be on the go and not be at the grocery store line and have to strike up conversation, and if real estate comes up, fly in with my cape and my card and say, hey, I'm your man. So it felt so good to leave it a year and a half ago, but I'm still looking to reinvent myself and figure out what I want to do when I grow up. I worked at Target for 7 months last year. That was interesting and necessary. But after 7 months, it wasn't as interesting as it was at the start. And I left there in September. I've been devoting a lot of time to creating content and taking care of my little ones. But again, I've got bills to pay like we all do. And the bills need paid. Jack Keeler works in logistics. Aaron says, here in Southern Cal, we'll never be able to buy. Yeah, no, it's crazy in Southern Cal. I lived in Long Beach for a little while, many, many moons ago, and have a buddy that still lives there. But nice. I enjoy visiting there, but I never thought Southern California was for me. I like greenery, and although the greenery is down and the leaves still aren't on the tree, the grass gets real green and lush out here, and the trees get green and beautiful. I remember when I moved back from California, I drove back across the country, and when I pulled back into the neighborhood I was living at the time, just thought, wow, look at all the trees. Because the trees in California are a little different. I hope the wind's not bothering you. Brad Smith says, Ken Tracy has the best life advice. It's funny you say that, Brad, and I so appreciate it. I don't know that I do at all. Hey, PD, how are you? I'm just a guy that's willing to talk about the ups and downs in life. And, I've used to be on Facebook a lot. And as a realtor, I thought it was God's gift to realtors and invented by realtors for realtors. But anyway, people post pictures of them on vacation or them catching a huge fish or I don't know, just the goldenest of moments. And although it's nice to have those moments and remember those moments, I know for me, I struggle with some things. And most people don't post about their struggles. So for some crazy reason, I post about the challenges and the struggles and that I'm facing. Because I've been facing them most of my life. I've always been a worrier. I've never been a great sleeper. I used to abuse alcohol and pot and used to gamble too much. And, I got a lot of bad habits that I'm cleaning out of my system. And I'm just sharing my experience. I'm going, okay, hey, I stopped drinking this month and this is what's happening to me today. Or I started exercising 6 months ago and here's where I'm at today. And again, I just share my experiences. Me too, I abuse stuff as well. I need to recover and be a better person. Ryan, just having that goal gets you in the better person lane. Just wanting to be a better person, I think, is what we should all strive for. I think it's a balance between accepting where we are today and Ryan lost his daughter at 2.5 months old. It hurts and I struggle. I imagine you did, Ryan. I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah. That almost makes me cry just thinking about it. Because a lot of times at the beginning of the show, I was saying how good it feels to lay my babies down. God blessed me with two young babies in my 50s. A 3-year-old and a 1.5-year-old. And sometimes they wear me out. And again, sometimes they wear me out, and I just, hello, Andrew, thank you for joining. But I still consider them a blessing, and I don't know. They're always, my 4 kids are always my first 4 things I think of in the morning when I'm thinking of gratitude, and gratitude usually helps get me out of the bed. I have a rainbow baby now. His name is Maverick. He's 3.5 years old. Thank you, Ken. Hello, Andrew. How are you? Rick's talking about drinking and saying he has no more hangovers. It's unreal. Isn't it weird? No brain fog. Yeah, Rick. And waking up. If you wake up at 2 in the morning, Rick's talking about not drinking anymore. I think he said he gave it up a year ago. And again, I stopped drinking about 2.5 years ago. It's such an amazing feeling in that every night I would drink, and every night at 2 in the morning I'd wake up and feel, oh, that was stupid, I drank again. Feel like my heart's racing, and hopefully I'll be able to fall back asleep, and what if I can't? I'm going to feel crappy all day tomorrow. And then tomorrow would come, and lo and behold, I'd find myself with a beer in my hand, starting all over again the next day. And it's a viciously bad cycle to get into. And I think I was fortunate never to be addicted. Hey, Rich, thanks for joining. And by the way, somebody followed my page earlier today. Anybody new, please follow my page. My goal is to get to 10,000 subscribers on TikTok. It was to get by March 31st. The funny thing, it was March 31st of last year, and it was around Christmas I made that goal. I posted a video, I think, about pot smoking that went super massive and it's been seen over 600,000 times. And I was picking up subscribers left and right, and I thought, wow, this is going to be easy. In 2 weeks, I'm going to be at 10,000. I'm going to be making the big bucks. And then that video kind of ran its course, and now I'm just slowly trudging forward. And going live probably 5 days a week, and using my live videos as content for my shorts, my reels, and my TikToks. And, enjoying it. And again, I was struggling this morning. I had bad thoughts and anxiety and frustrations all over. And, again, when I put my babies down for the nap, I just felt relieved. It's funny to say that, but it's true. Felt relieved and was hoping to, get some rest myself because I was up in the 4:45 or so. And I didn't feel that was happening, and I thought about cleaning. And hey, Rick, here's cup number 2 to you as well. I thought about cleaning, and one thing I found, no matter how much I clean, and it's very frustrating, when you live with 5 kids, a dog, 2 cats, etc., no matter how much I clean, the house gets dirty again really quickly. And I know it's about the journey. It's not about the destination. And I say that a lot, especially when it comes to, things like working out. If I only focused on the results and the muscles or the six-pack or the weight loss, I probably would quit working out after 2 weeks because I'd see no change. And my body would have looked the same. But 6 months later, you start you get some momentum and you start feeling better and looking better and being better. And maybe that'll happen with cleaning the house someday. But right now, this morning, I wasn't so sure it would. So that's why I'm going live with you instead. I'll probably go in there, sweep the floor, put the dishes in the dishwasher, maybe, I got 2 little babies. I was going to say put some of their toys away. The only reason to put their toys away is the joy they have dumping the boxes over and unleashing them again on the house. But other than that, it's just an exercise in futility. Maybe that's what life is, just an exercise in futility. Who knows? Let's have some more coffee. That should be the name of my show. The new name of my show. An exercise in futility. I'd have a hard time selling it as an inspirational, motivational, generally positive show or video if it was called An Exercise in Futility. Maybe, and here's what I'm struggling with, Rick. Rick says it's true. It is. Maybe what I'm struggling with is I don't just accept it and put my arms around it, my brain around it, and go, crap, the house is never going to be clean. I'm never going to have a 6-pack of abs, and no matter what I do, I'm not going to be a brain surgeon. So let's just sit on my back patio and drink some coffee, cry into the coffee. I don't want to be a brain surgeon. I really wouldn't. All those brains and surgeries would kind of bog me out. What I'd like to do is make a difference. What I'd like to do is motivate somebody out there to stop drinking or to start working out or to maybe face their anxiety in a little more true manner than they're used to doing. And again, I'm a guy that drank for 35 years and smoked pot for 35, not 35, but 20 years, I'd say, pretty much every day. And I did that to help with my anxiety. And I put quotes around that um, because I think a lot of people that abuse alcohol and pot do it because to deal with anxiety. And what I realized, it was making my problems worse, not better. And we touched on it earlier today. Just the sleeping, the breaking up in your sleeping pattern when you drink every day is immense, massive. How do I deal with anxiety now without alcohol? Exercise, pray, gratitude, and when I say that, I think of 10 things I'm grateful for. Talk live, go see a therapist. I have an appointment with a therapist tomorrow. I'd recommend all those things. Even if you're not a believer, pray, it feels good. And pretty soon maybe you'll start believing that somebody's listening, and maybe somebody is listening. And this morning I was out at 5:15 in the morning walking my dog, talking to myself, going rah, 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 rah. Those weren't the exact words that are coming out, but I don't know what they were. And I looked up and I saw the stars and I said, let's try a little prayer. Let's try a little prayer. And said a little prayer and felt a little better and started kind of laughing and started appreciating the little things a little bit more, and finished up my walk, posted a video or two, and drank some coffee and played with my kids till my wife came down later. Ryan Marks hates addiction. He needs to see a therapist. Well, thank you for saying you love my lives and for being a part of the show today, Ryan. I appreciate you opening up, and I don't know what your struggles are with, but we often have them, and I think a lot of us have them. And I think for me, I'd say I was pretty good at hiding them because I was, I didn't miss work, or, I still woke up early and went to work every day. I just felt crappy and couldn't wait till the end of the day when I could start drinking again. And that's not a way to live. I promise you, that's not a way to live. And again, I posted a video on pot smoking, and I said if you drink beer or smoke pot every day, you probably have a problem. And I got a lot of negative comments about that. But I do believe it. If pot was recreational and on a Saturday night, because I'm watching a weird movie or Pink Floyd The Wall or whatever, and I could do it and it stopped there, and maybe next Saturday do it again, I'd probably be all for it. But I know for me, as a guy that's never been into moderation or never been good at moderation with anything, that's not the way it works. If I smoked on Saturday night, I'd smoke on Sunday morning, and I'd smoke on Sunday afternoon, and smoke on Sunday evening. And it would just happen again. And the problem with pot is, A, it's more socially acceptable than drinking right now. And B, you can hide it better. If I went into work after drinking a lot, I think people would either smell it, or I'd be staggering or slurring my words. But I know as a former everyday pot smoker, nobody could tell whether I was high or not. And so I was kind of high all the time. But if you're high all the time, you're not really high. You're not even experiencing it or enjoying it, or you're looking for a different high or a better high. And you're always chasing your tail. And I tell you, chasing your tail is not fun. So it feels good to at least gotten off that cycle and go, okay, well, I'm anxious now. What am I going to do? I'm going to make an appointment with a therapist. Okay, I'm still anxious. What am I going to do? I'm going to say a little prayer. I'm going to go to church. I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to do something that hopefully puts me keeps me on a better path. I guarantee a better and less expensive path than drinking and pot smoking is. But it's amazing how many people do both, and to excess, and I'd say to abuse. Not that I'm judging, but I just know a lot of people drink and a lot of people smoke. And I know for me, they didn't help my anxiety. They put a Band-Aid over it, but I never smoked and then woke up the next day and go, wow, I feel great. I don't feel anxious anymore. It was like, crap, I'm afraid, I'm scared, I'm worried. Where's my weed? And again, that's a bad cycle. I promise you that. So I don't know what I have for you. Rick's saying motivational speaker. I would like somehow my experiences to help motivate somebody to try and get their life in a better place. Because again, that's kind of what Coffee with Ken is, the story of me from 5 years ago to today. And again, I've got still a bunch of issues, and I'm sure the issues are always going to keep coming. But as long as we're working to get a little better every day, I think that's what matters. And again, moving forward even when it's hard. And when it's real hard, take the smallest step forward. Wash some dishes, or I don't know, get out of bed, or pour yourself a cup of coffee if you have to. You don't always have to train for a marathon to be moving forward. Sometimes the smallest steps are the most important. And I'd encourage anybody that's struggling out there to start small. Yeah, so. Jeremy's talking about Atomic Habits. I started Atomic Habits. I read The Compound Effect before I read Atomic Habits. And I loved Compound Effect, so I think I love I think they're very similar, and about small steps over time and the impact they make on your life. And I have a very personal experience with it. When I first started reading The Compound Effect, I was thinking about my brother Steve, and he and I were both similar in a lot of ways, but different in other ways. And I think we could have gone the same direction. But I started saying, hey, I got to get better. I got to start improving my life, working towards a better tomorrow, and working on myself a little bit. And my habits started getting better, and I started trying to not drink or not smoke or exercise more or pray more or read more or what have you. And he didn't. And I think he got immersed in bitterness. And I think we were different in that we were almost two sides of the same coin. He was always kind of immersed in bitterness and anger at the world a little bit. And I always want to make the world smile or laugh. And he always wanted to fight the world. And he did not have good habits. And I talked about it before, but he took his life 2 years ago. And it just reminds me of how habits make a huge difference. And I try and keep mine, it reminds me. And I'd encourage, if you can get something from that, try and get a little better today, and then try and get a little better tomorrow. And don't kick yourself today if you don't get better, and don't beat yourself up if you don't get better tomorrow, because you got to learn to love yourself, and you got to learn to forgive yourself, because we all screw up, we all make mistakes, and we all go through struggles. But it's able to face the day each day, and I think face it sober is what's important. But you do you. But I feel good facing it sober every day, even the hard days. And I can't imagine drinking or smoking or doing any of that again. So I don't know. I'll drink one more sip of coffee. I want to thank you guys all so much for joining on this Sunday afternoon. I go live probably 5 times a week. I post a whole lot of videos. I hope you subscribe to my page if you're new. I hope you enjoy my videos, you enjoy my content, you get motivated, you get inspired, even on days when I'm not feeling my top. I still usually do it with a smile, and that's always a good feeling. So I want to thank you so much for joining. I appreciate you. Again, I hope you're loving yourself on this gorgeous day. I hope you're forgiving yourself. And as always, I hope to talk to you soon. Bye-bye.